welcome. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on this special interview on NewsX. We are in conversation today with the team of the much-awaited The Trial, प्यार धोखा कानून. जी हाँ, बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग प्रोजेक्ट है. काफी चर्चा इस सीरीज के बारे में हो रही है. And the captain of the ship, the director Suparn Varma, joins us today. And of course, one of the lead actors of this much-awaited series, Kubbra Sait, is also live with us. Welcome, both of you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, Uday.
Let me begin with you, Kubbra. What was the biggest reason for you to say yes to this project?
That it was this project. Really, it was this project. Okay. So I got a call from a casting agent, our casting the team that has organized the casting for the entire show is a team called Casting Bay. I got a call from them asking me if I was interested, or and more like they're interested they're interested to know if you are interested, and I said yes.
Yes.
And then they disappeared.
Okay.
Then I had to find out why they disappeared. Then I found them. Then it happened that, it still shocks me that Suparn always wanted me for this part. So when I think, you align yourself to want to do something and the universe and your director, then there is no way you can escape it. So I feel this literally was something that I had waited and worked for. And it just felt very comfortable walking on set and just doing what I do. It wasn't like, oh, wow, ye mere saath kaise hua? I wanted this and I got it. So I'm very happy that I'm here today. And it felt very, very nice today when you said, and one of the lead cast is here. I've never had that being said to me ever. It's really nice.
Yeah. No, it's true. You are, and as I said, of course, people are really waiting for this series. So Kubbra ke saath almost dhoka ho gaya, Suparn. As she said, the audition happened and then they disappeared, but then fir dhoka nahi hua because she got the part after all. But for you, before I get to the adaptation of it, how was it like casting your lead stars, including Kubbra? What was the process like? Were they the first choices, or how did it go?
So, well, the Kubbra story involves karma more than, dhoka, because Kubbra auditioned almost 5 years ago, and we couldn't afford her for that show, but she was outstanding and she never left my mind, and I needed to cast her again. So when the opportunity came now, she was the first name. And honestly, this show has been a stroke of luck in a lot of ways, because Kajol was number one on my list. She happened, Kubbra, Shiba Chadda, Jishu. I mean, my first list literally came true. It was like, okay, the universe is opening a lot of doors. They're just happening. So now I have to work really hard to kind of, justify their faith in me. But it was a blessing. Because thing is this, that you can have great written material, but without actors who can bring alive those characters, who put soul into those characters, they remain in a slightly different stage. And I was very clear in my head the kind of look, the kind of actors I needed to be in this show to bring it alive. And honestly, the entire cast is really done a fabulous job. All of them.
Okay. How was it like for you, though, adapting now The Good Wife? How did the idea come about? Did you believe that the time was right as well with the OTT format now booming? So what was the adaptation, like for... and also making it into a finite series, not stretching it, to hundreds of episodes.
So here's the thing. One, it's to adaptation interesting because not all shows lend themselves to Indian adaptations. Because one, it's not an outright remake. I mean, just from the basic itself, right? We have a jury system. We don't have a jury system. They have a jury system. The cases here are different. So that's a complete rewrite. Also, Noinika's character, which is Kajol's character, is a complete rework because as an Indian woman, you tend to be victim shamed when shit happens in your life. As compared to what happens on the West, there's more empathy. Here, everything is the woman's fault. Right from, the tea not being good to the children being bad to, the man straying, everything is a woman's fault. So that needed to be kind of...
Her existing is a fault. Yeah, her existence is a fault. Yeah.
So that had to be lensed differently. Her reactions, her actions to kind of come out of the socioeconomic space that she is in. Two, one of the biggest things when I went to Kajol also was that she has always been playing roles where the lead hero has always either stolen her from a fiancé or boyfriend, and then last minute train plane, yeah, bus, ye pyar hua hai. Right? Here, the show actually starts off with her husband cheating on her and getting slapped, and her romance starting from rock bottom, which is a
like
complete
in the
about
trailer.
what she's done before. So that was a best part of going to her in the first place, showing a new side to her, and in adapting here, that changed. And also the fact is, as you said, it's a finite series in the sense that the first season is 8 episodes or 23 episodes. So you're crunching, you're making the storytelling more intense. And we had the gift of knowing which each character's arc lands across seasons. So we could make them richer in today's season. It's in the first season itself, rather than, not knowing where you are and what you're going to do with it. So that made for richer storytelling. And we took the soul of the original and then Indianize it in our context to kind of give a completely new experience.
Yeah, which hopefully they will have once they see it. But Kubbra, now for you, how was the vibe like? As Suparn was saying, this was bound to happen sooner rather than later. You working with him, but what was the vibe like on a Suparn Varma set? And how was it for you? Working with Kajol, Jishu, Shivaji, and the rest.
See, I think Suparn is a vibe.
Okay.
Suparn Varma is a vibe. All right. So let's begin from there. And then Suparn Varma, I don't even know if you or your audience are prepared for this.
I love how she's also saying Suparn Varma. Huh? Suparn.
Yeah, I love saying Suparn Varma. I love saying Suparn Varma. It's my favorite thing to do. It's like, yeah. I'm like, Suparn Varma, please talk to me. All right. Yes. But like, we were working on a closed set. It was like a stationary set, and it was literally like going to office every morning. And it was like, we're going to start at this time, we're going to end at this time. So I think primarily we used to roll around 8:15, right? So for that, we would come earlier. Now you think ideally, since you've shot the night before or whatever, or even if you haven't, you would bring with you'll come with some energy, right? But there you go. Suparn Varma walks into the room and says, all right, gentlemen, मेरी लक्ष्मी जी का आज ना फोड़ देंगे आज अच्छा करेंगे how do you not go and do acha after that? You just do acha after that. And the beauty is that Suparn was such a binding energy to all of us that it never felt that we were working in hierarchy. It was all of us coming together, collaborating and creating magic. Because after every day, if you felt satisfied, कि यार आज ना वो अच्छा गया, ये अच्छा गया, वो अच्छा गया, and you look at the law of averages and you're like, today's day was a good day. It was a good day to show up. It was a good day to perform. It was a good day to create. Then there is nothing in the world that stops you from waking up again the next morning and doing it all over again.
True.
So I feel that's the kind of energy that existed on the sets, and that's the kind of energy that we were all able to create for each other. And I think Kajol in an interview said something really interesting. She said that acha hai na, at least you're able to make relationships with people, especially when you know that a show is going to run longer than one season. So now we rely on each other. We're not standoffish to each other. We're all kind, loving, and it was one of easily my favorite sets to have worked. Period.
Fantastic. For you, though, as playing a lawyer, how was that? How similar is the character, or how different to you in real life? And did you draw on any real life examples of lawyer, or was this something you brought to the role yourself?
No, so I don't play a lawyer in the show. I play a private investigator. So I work for the law firm.
Okay. For the law. So you're not a lawyer in the firm, you're a private investigator.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So I'm that little snoopy little cat, who's sitting very quietly, licking her face and, just hearing things and figuring things out and using her brain to think in that literally think out of the box kind of a way.
Yeah.
She's doing that.
Okay.
And she's doing that so that her law firm wins the cases that they are representing their clients for.
So where did you draw that from? Now that makes it more interesting because, as I was going to say, lawyers, one interacts with or one has friends who are lawyers. So where did you draw from, to build the character?
There's a lot to draw in from the script itself, to be honest. But other than that, I'm a go-getter. Sana's a go-getter. No one can pull me down without my will, and no one can pull Sana down without her will. She's quite like strong-headed. She's quite grounded. She knows what life means to her, and she knows that no problem is too big that you're crying in life. You know, she'll find a solution. She's a very solution-oriented person. And there are so many layers, not just to Sana's character, but as Suparn said, because we had so much material to work from, we were able to give these layers to every character. So every character is like, oh, I want to see what this character develops into. You know, like, ooh, where, what, how.
Yes.
And that's, I think, the beauty of writing anyways these days, right? We're so attracted to like, you know, good content because they have more than just what a unilateral story is. Oh, A, B, C, D. No. There is a story of A, there's a story of B, there's a story of C, and then they all come in together and justify their being on that show. And I feel like a show or story or journey or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, my final question to you, Suparn, on you know, on the OTT format for you, how has it been? You've done movies before, but you know, when you have you know, an opportunity to do something lengthier in terms of series, is that more fulfilling for you as a filmmaker, or is it or is it tough to compare? You know, a feature film and a series.
So there are two different mediums.
And experience directed, yeah.
So there are two different mediums altogether in terms of, you know, the craft required the same, but when it comes to the crafting of the screenplays is different, whether it's a film or it's a series. Also, series is much longer to kind of shoot, put together, write, and the post of it. So it is, I mean, one is like a 200-meter sprint, the other is like a marathon. So that's the difference technically between the two when it comes to making it. In terms of satisfaction, honestly, both are as satisfying because you are doing a creative process. You know, it's the same thing of telling a story. How you tell it, the scale of it changes. And now today with OTT, the scale is getting bigger and bigger with every single day. And it's as cinematic as worlds can be. It just allows you to kind of go more in depth with the characters and storytelling. So I enjoy both. And I'm not going to choose any child between you know, the two of them. I love both my children, so it's all good.
I love both my children. He only has one child in real life.
I'm married to the movies, and they're also my children, so yeah.
Oh, so sweet.
Fantastic. आखिरी सवाल आपसे कुब्रा, अभी recently was World Yoga Day, International Yoga Day, and I did notice that you were in Gurugram for a special yoga event. Does Kubbra love yoga in real life? Is this something? Is this your go-to exercise for physical and mental well-being? Tell us a bit about it.
100%. So I have always enjoyed, you know, like I didn't understand, you know, like for me going and like working out was never because अरे ये मोटी है या मैं मुझे अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. It was never that. It was never vanity to go and work out. You know, it's like अच्छा करना पड़ता है क्या? सब कर रहे हैं, मुझे भी करना है क्या? It was more like that. But during the pandemic, what happened was that I needed something that would keep a sense of discipline in me. So we used to join an online class with Malaika, Sarvesh, and a few others. We would join and we would do a class every day at 11:30. And that's what the discipline of yoga started actually showing up in my life physically, mentally, emotionally. And I don't think that there has been a greater source of joy that I could have added to myself.
Okay.
So when I speak about yoga, I feel like there is this sense of gratefulness and I see, you know, improvement every single day. And I celebrate every single, you know, sense of growth every day. And no, man, I don't think you, like, जब मैं जिम जाती हूँ ना, मैं weights देख के यहाँ पे traps मेरे tight हो जाते हैं. तो मैं weights नहीं कर पाती हूँ. मगर yoga, I think, you know, just allows me to be kind, gentle with myself. And I'm just very grateful. I have some really good teachers who teach me.
Fantastic.
And it's given me a sense of discipline. And being, you know, a yoga, like someone who practices yoga, it's really living a certain, you know, life around that. So you think mindfully, you move with awareness, you understand, you know, what your form is. And all of that happens slowly but surely with yoga, at least it's happened for me, and I'm very,
Okay.
very grateful to it. Yeah.
Yeah, as they say, it's not just an exercise, it's a way of life. And you doing it will, I'm sure, inspire many others to do it too. That's a COVID habit that you picked up, which you've stuck with. Thank you so much for joining us, Kubbra and Suparn, and all the very best to you for the trial. Let's hope you get a lot of pyar, no dhoka, and people enjoy the Kanun you've shown in the series. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for being
Thank
with us.
you, Uday
Bye-bye.
Pratap Singh.
Thank you. Bye. Take care, guys. Thank you.